Hello dear children, we have to continue in today's class explanation of Act 4 Scene 1. So in the previous video we have completed the explanation up to line number 305. Okay, that up to here. And today we have to continue from Shylock's speech, line number 306. So up to here what we have studied. So here in the court of justice in Venice, Portia has come disguised as a lawyer, and what she has done, that is she also tried to make change mind of Shylock, but she was unable. And finally she says to Shylock, okay, you can cut a pound of flesh from Antonio's body, and he was very happy by the time. So Bassanio and Bresciano, both of them were there, and Bassanio and Bresciano said that we have wife and to whom we love very much, but in order to save Antonio, we can sacrifice our wives, our wealth, and our life also to this Shylock. Okay, till here we had completed. And Portia and Nerissa, they were also there. They were standing that how liberally, how freely they said that they want their wife to be there in the heaven, and they could have at least sent some power to change mind of this cruel Shylock. Okay, so their wife were little bit disappointed to listen that. Okay, now Shylock said after Nerissa's speech, that these be the Christian husbands. I have a daughter. Would any of the stock of Barabbas had been her husband rather than a Christian? We trifle time, I pray thee, pursue sentence. Now Shylock was listening to their conversation, that how freely Bassanio and Bresciano, both of them were thinking. They were said also that they wish that they are ready to sacrifice their wife, and Bresciano said that I wish that my wife would be there in the heaven. So Shylock, looking at this, as his daughter Jessica also ran away with one of the Christian, that is Lorenzo. So he said that these be the Christian husbands, that is, this is what Christian husbands are, that this is what they think about their wives. I have a daughter. Now Shylock said that I have a daughter. So all these things he is saying to himself. He is thinking in his own mind. Okay, he is speaking to himself, that I have a daughter, that I also have a daughter. Would any of the stock of Barabbas had been her husband rather than a Christian? So he said that I want that any of the stock of Barabbas, and that any of the descendant of the Barabbas would be her husband instead of any of the Christian. We trifle time. And then he said there in the court that we trifle time, that is, we are just passing time, wasting time. So I request you pursue sentence. I request you to give the judgment. Then Portia said, a pound of that same merchant's flesh is thine, the court awards it, and the law does give it. So Portia said, that is, a pound of that same merchant's flesh, that is, the pound of this merchant's flesh, Antonio's flesh, is yours, and the court awards it to you, and the law does give it, and the law gives permission to have it. Shylock, he was so happy to have that judgment, and he said, most rightful judge, you are the most rightful judge. So he was praising Portia for this judgment. Then Portia said, and you must cut this flesh from off his breast. The law allows it, and the court awards it. Now Portia said that, and you must cut this flesh from off his breast. Now she was specifying that you have to cut a pound of flesh, and from where you have to cut? From his chest. The law allows it, that is, the law allows to you, and the court awards it to you. You can have your pound of flesh from merchant's body, and that also from his chest. Shylock says, most learned judge, a sentence, come, prepare. Now Shylock said he was so happy, so he said, that is, most learned judge, you are a very worthy judge, a sentence, that is what a judgment you have given. Come, prepare. Then he said to Antonio, come Antonio, and prepare yourself for my knife. Portia said, so as he was preparing himself to cut a pound of flesh from Antonio's body, what Portia said? Portia said, Tarry a little, there is something else. This bond does give thee here no jot of blood. The words expressly are a pound of flesh. Take then thy bond, take thou thy pound of flesh, but in the cutting it, if thou dost shed one drop of Christian blood, thy lands and goods are by the laws of Venice confiscate unto the state of Venice. Now what Portia said, that is tarry a while. That she said that stop for a minute, that wait, Shylock, there is something else. That is, there is something else for you than this. This bond does give thee here no jot of blood. That is, this bond doesn't give you not a single drop of blood to you. That in bond it is not mentioned about the blood, it is mentioned only about a pound of flesh. So the words expressly are, that is, the words which are expressed in the bond are a pound of flesh. Take then thy bond, take thou thy pound of flesh. And then Portia said, that is, now you can take your bond, that as penalty is mentioned a pound of flesh, so that you can take, you take that, take thou thy pound of flesh, but in the cutting it, that is, while cutting it, in the cutting it means that while cutting your pound of flesh from merchant's body, if thou dost shed, that is, if you shed one drop of Christian blood, that is, if while cutting pound of flesh, if one drop of Christian blood also comes, thy lands and goods are by the laws of Venice confiscate unto the state of Venice. That is, if it happens, if one drop of blood comes out of this Christian, then your lands, your goods, your wealth, your property, your possession, everything, whatever is there, so they are going to be taken away by the state. That is, and that is the law, that is by the laws of Venice, that is according to the law of Venice. So that will be confiscated. Confiscated means that is, that will be taken away legally by the state of Venice. Now Gratiano, he was there, and as he listened to this, so he became very happy. Now he understood, Gratiano, Bassanio, and all the people who were there, all the attendants who were there, they understood that now Shylock is an own grab. So Gratiano said, in order to tease Shylock, that, "O upright judge, mark you, O learned judge." That is the same way as Shylock was praising earlier to Portia, so Gratiano also started praising Portia, that, "O upright judge, mark you, O learned judge." So Shylock, is that the law? Now Shylock was completely confused and he was completely shocked to have this law. So he asked that, is that the law? Then Portia said, "Thou shalt see the act. For as thou urgest justice, be assured thou shalt have justice more than thou desire." Then Portia said, "Thou shalt see the act." That is, you can look into the books, that this is the law. For as thou urgest justice. Now Portia says that because you were urging to have justice, that again and again you were asking that you want to have justice, you want to have judgment. So be assured, that is, you be assured that you will get justice only, more than your desire, that more than your desire you will get justice now. Then Gratiano again, that he was actually teasing Shylock also, and he was praising Portia also. So he said that, "O learned judge, mark you, a learned judge." Then Shylock said, "I take this offer then, pay the bond thrice and let the Christian go." Now Shylock understood that it is not possible, that I cannot cut a pound of flesh without shedding a blood, without shedding the blood. So I cannot do that. So Shylock said, "Okay, I am ready to take thy offer, that I accept your offer which you gave me earlier. You pay 3 times of the bond and let the Christian go." Then Bassanio said, "Here is the money." Now Bassanio also was relieved that, okay, at least my friend's life will be saved. So he was ready to give him money. "Okay, take this money, here I have." Then Portia interrupted in between and said, "Soft, The Jew shall have all justice, soft, no haste. He shall have nothing but the penalty. Then Portia said to Bassanio that soft, soft means stop, that stop for a while. The Jew shall have all justice, that the Jew will have now all justice. Wait, no haste, that is, don't hurry up. Haste means hurry up, that you don't hurry up. He shall have nothing but the penalty, that now he will not get anything else, that he is not going to get thrice the sum or the sum, but only he will have the penalty as it is mentioned in the bond, that is a pound of flesh. Then Gratiano said, again in the same way he started teasing Shylock, O Jew, an upright judge, a learned judge. So he said, that is, O Shylock, see that what an upright judge we have, a learned judge. Portia, therefore prepare thee to cut off the flesh. Then Portia said to Shylock that therefore, because you will not have anything other than the penalty, so you prepare yourself to cut a pound of flesh from merchant's body. Shed thou no blood, that is, and keep that in mind that while cutting pound of flesh, you have to not shed a single drop of merchant's blood, nor cut thou less nor more, but just a pound of flesh. And then what Portia warned Shylock, that you don't have to cut not less also nor more also, because as it is mentioned in the bond that you have to cut an exact pound of flesh. So just a pound of flesh you cut, not less nor more, okay, or less than a just pound, that is, it should not be more or less than a pound, exact you have to cut. Be it but so much as makes it light or heavy in the substance or the division of the 20th part of one poor scruple. Nay, if the scale do turn but in the estimation of a hair, thou diest, and all thy goods are confiscated. Then what Portia said, that be it but so much as it makes in light or heavy. And then Portia said to Shylock that you keep that in mind, that while cutting the pound of flesh, so it should not be light or heavy in the substance. Okay, substance means weight, that in the weight it should not be light or heavy, it should be an exact a pound, and or the division of the 20th part of one poor scruple. What is scruple? Scruple means that is of a very small unit of weight. Scruple is a very small unit of weight of 20 grains. Okay, that only 20 grains, whatever weight it has, so same is called as scruple. So here Portia said to Shylock that when you cut a pound of flesh, so it should be an exact, and it should not increase or decrease by a scruple also, that much also it should not vary in the weight. Nay, if, and then nay means no, and if the scale do turn but in the estimation of a hair also, that, and then she warned Shylock that after cutting, if the scale, that is, scale means that is when we will weight the cut flesh of this merchant, then it should not be more or less by the single hair breadth also, that is, the balance should not show more or less by the hair also. Thou diest, that is, if it happened, that the cut flesh will be more or less than a hair's breadth or a scruple also, then you are going to lose your life. That thou diest, that is, you will be dead, your life will be no more, and all thy goods are confiscated, and all your goods, that is, all your wealth, all your possession will be taken away by the state of Venice. Then Gratiano again he started teasing Shylock, saying, a second Daniel, a Daniel Jew, now infidel, I have thee on the hip. Then what Gratiano said, that is, he was making fun of Shylock, and he said that here comes a second Daniel, a Daniel Jew. Now we had learned that who is a Daniel, it was given earlier. So Daniel was one of the Jewish lawyer who was known for his true judgment. Okay, so here Grishano said a second Daniel comes, a Jew, now infidel. Infidel means that is non-believer, that is in Christian faith. So he said to infidel, to Shylock, that now infidel, now I have thee on the hip, that is now I have catch you at your uh, I have hold you properly now at your losses, at your bad time. Portia, why does the Jew pause? Take thy forfeiture. Then Portia said to Shylock that why have you stopped, Jew? Take your forfeiture. Forfeiture means penalty. That is, you take your penalty. Earlier you were asking for penalty, that I want to have penalty only and I don't want anything else. We offered you so many times, twice and thrice the sum, but you refused. Now why did you stop? So you take your penalty. Shylock said, give me my principal and let me go. Now Shylock understood that now he could not escape from this situation. So he said that give me my principal only, don't give me double or thrice the sum. Give me my principal only, that is 3,000 ducats, and let me go from here. Then Bassanio, he was ready to give. He said that I have it ready for thee. Here it is. That yes, I have 3,000 ducats, you take this. Portia said, he has refused it in the open court. He shall have merely justice and his bond. Then Portia said that no, he will not get now his sum also, that he will now only have his justice and his bond. Then Greshano, a Daniel, still I say, a second Daniel, I thank thee, Jew, for teaching me that word. Then Greshano again started making fun of Shylock, saying, a Daniel will say, still I say, a second Daniel he is. I thank thee, Jew. So he thanked Shylock, that is, I thank you, Jew, for teaching me this word. Okay, we stop up to here. Further this we will continue in the next video.